Welcome to the Hornets Hivecast, presented by Charlotte Eye, Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates, the official eye, ear, nose, and throat care provider of the Charlotte Hornets. Here's your host, Sam Farber.
Taj Gibson, welcome here to the Hornets Hivecast.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Great to have you here. It's season 16 for you in the NBA. When you started your NBA journey, did you think you'd end up being a 16-year NBA veteran at some point?
No, not really. I always just was hoping to just get past the first year, really. Just try to do whatever it takes to just get maybe a few years in, just try to have fun.
You were an all-rookie selection your first season. You've had a fantastic career, multiple playoff runs. Now as you reach this stage of your career, what were expectations when you signed with Charlotte?
Just like any other time when I'm right before the season and free agency comes, most teams just tell me be myself, just be Taj. My first question is, what do you expect from me? Just coming and be Taj, just bring toughness, just being yourself, a team-oriented guy. And that's always the way that I've always played the game. Just try to be there for my team, just be tough, and just have fun. How
much were those expectations off the court as much as on the court in terms of being a leader, being a veteran for what at the core is still a young team?
Yeah, it's really important because just like any job or anything in profession, you're the new guy on campus. You're trying to figure out how to fit in. But for me, it's just all about being myself. I've been around a long time. I know just about the whole league, so I'm familiar with guys and different storylines all throughout my career, just running into guys in training camp, running guys in summer, working out. You never know. And all that just helped me just become a better leader, better just speaking, as far as just speaking out, just loving the game of basketball, but just being myself.
For on the court, where were expectations when you were talking to Jeff Peterson? Because you've started more games already this year than you have the prior 3 seasons combined. Some of it is out of necessity, and I know you always keep yourself ready for whatever the opportunity is. But what was the conversation like in terms of what you thought your minutes would be or your role would be on the floor?
We didn't really discuss that. Just came in the training camp open-minded, just trying to just be around the guys. But Jeff and the guys didn't really have to tell me anything. Just being a part of the NBA for almost as long as I have, I've been through a lot of ups and downs, a lot of trials and tribulations, and one thing I understand is always stay ready, always be prepared whenever your number's called, even from 1 to the 15th guy on the bench. Just got to stay ready, got to stay positive, always bring that winning mentality every day. And I don't know why, but I'm always kind of put in these positions, and it's a great thing. A lot of people wish they would have these kind of obstacles in front of them, and me, I've been around a long time and having so many obstacles thrown at me. So if it's starting, come off the bench, or just being on the bench, I'm really prepared for whatever task is thrown at me.
Taj Gibson, our guest today here on the Hornets Hivecast. 16th NBA season. At the start of the season, you were the 4th oldest active NBA player. Do you know the other 3?
I would probably say LeBron, PJ, and Chris Paul.
You got them all. First try. What does it mean to you to have that? I would think of it as a badge of honor to be someone who's survived a grueling season year after year to be here at this stage.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying, just to get to this point. When I came to the league, I had vets like Nazir Muhammad. I had Kurt Thomas, who's played almost till he's 40. So just being around guys like that, just being professional, just knowing how to bring it each and every day, but just knowing how to relate to the young guys. One thing about being in a locker room every day, the challenge is not really a challenge, just trying to be able to speak to the young guys to the form where they understand you, where they feel comfortable just having you in the locker room. And every day I come to the gym, it's wonderful. I get a group of talented young men, eager to learn, eager to just try to do new things, but in hindsight still give me that respect of an older veteran, and it's great. Every day I'm smiling. Every day I'm just enjoying it, enjoying the ride.
I've heard the nickname is Unk. What does it mean to you when they call you Unk?
It's a term of endearment because each time I talk at camps, when I talk to younger high school players, even just going to hospitals to talk to kids, I always just try to tell them, look at me as that uncle that really cares. And throughout my career, I had a lot of uncles, a lot of veteran guys who I looked at in that same kind of capacity. And it really means a lot to me because that's a sign of it. That's a real sign of endearment and trust. And when you say Unc always is going to be there. He's the guy that's going to pull up late night to help you, pull up late night to have conversation with you, but still have that same mentality. Like Unc still bring it to the court too.
Not too long ago, you were the rookie coming into the league. And I looked up your rookie season. There was a veteran who was playing age 39 seasons, 17 years in the league, Lindsey Hunter, who was an all-rookie selection in his rookie year, just like you were, and a two-time champion. What do you remember thinking about Lindsey when you were coming to the league as a rookie yourself?
Well, I was a sponge. First off, when I got to the league, I was just kind of similar to Musa, just far as how I'm always eager to learn, always eager to just ask questions. And Lindsey was one of those guys. He won championships. And he was tough. I was always around some tough-minded guys, especially in that era I came into the NBA. It was a lot of toughness, a lot of mentally stable guys who would just always give me the jewels of the game. And it's not really too many of those guys now because the game needs that. So every day I wake up and I'm putting on a jersey, especially representing Charles Lee, Jeff, and the rest of the guys. I'm thankful. You know what I'm saying? Each day. And one of the main things that Charles told me, he said it's a blessing. And right then and there, I was just like, man, I'm all in.
I remember that toughness from you in college. It's not something you had to necessarily learn, but it's good to hear that it was further imprinted on you. Now you've got your own young guys to do that with. You mentioned Musa, Tijan Salon, eerily similar physical traits between the two of you when you came into the league. Same height, similar weight. What are you hoping to impart, and what do you see from them in terms of how they react to you, maybe similarly or differently perhaps from how you reacted to the veterans in your day?
Well, they're acting exactly how I expected them to act. They're just eager, and you have to just put the process into their heads. See how Tijan is just constantly showing his emotions on the sleeve, putting it out there like I'm here. And I tell him every day, don't try to just run away from it. Embrace it, because nobody's going to give you anything in this league. And Musa, I tell him every day, just keep working. Even when you have a good game, just keep striving for greatness. Keep striving and keep doing what you have to do. Even right now, when you got a little bit of praise, just keep going even harder. Get that next contract. Keep going, because he has the world in front of him. He still hasn't even scratched a little bit. He still hasn't touched any of his full potential yet. He's just going off of just full athleticism, and it's going to be very scary in a few years for him, because I feel he's such a talented player.
Taj Gibson, our guest today here on the Hornets Hivecast. You entered the league in the 2009-2010 season. How has the game changed in the NBA from then to now, and how have you been able to adapt your game, whereas many other players have come and gone and maybe were not able to change the way they play?
Well, one thing about this era compared to other eras is they're jacking up a lot of threes, a lot of just they're just taking a lot of the mid-range two-pointers out. They want a lot of threes, and it's not really too many big, strong, far as like bulky players, like the realistic power forwards. So now they want you to be able to guard, be more lenient, be more lean, guard mostly 1 through 5, maybe 3 through 4. Got to be able to switch. Got to be able to just be able to get out and run, and got to be able to adapt to and take coaching. That's one of those things don't never change, but I love it. The game is the game. One thing about the game that doesn't change is the heart and toughness. That doesn't never change. You can't succeed in this game without being tough-minded, having heart, and loving your teammates. And if you got those three things, you'll be fine. But those three things stick to me that I always realize that has never really changed no matter what era.
What's one story that you can share with us from your 16-year NBA career that stands out, that is kind of something that you'll take with you no matter how long you go or when this ends for you?
Like I try to tell guys every day, never take it for granted. Just take it, just whatever happens, even if you feel bad, you feel tired, you don't feel like playing, just keep going, keep swinging, because you never know what can happen. Because I was talking to a good teammate of mine. I remember it was maybe my 4th year in the league, 5th year in the league, maybe 6th. And I remember, his name is Etwan Moore. He's a really good friend of mine. He's actually retired right now. He works for the Chicago Bulls, and he's an advanced scout. And I remember just all year long. And I was a part of the ball club. So from my rookie year, I always played. I played a lot of minutes. So this is my 6th year probably in, and I'm noticing this young man. He comes in. He's like last on the depth chart as far as point guards, maybe shooting guards. And the whole year, I'm watching him, even in training camp. I was always that guy because I remember what it felt like to just sit on the sideline, coach telling you sit on the side. And I would always tell him, get in the drills with me, get in the drills with me. I don't care, just be ready. I don't care. And then no matter what, Tibbs always tell him, no, get on the sideline. Coach would be like, get on the sideline. Starters, get in. Guys, get in. And I always kept reminding him, I said, no matter what, just stay focused, man. I'm right here with you. Just keep coming into the practice, and we're going to get this. We're going to keep working hard. And then maybe a month or two down the line, 2 months down the line, one by one, players started getting hurt. And I try to tell guys in those situations, you're always going to be tested because he can't play, it's going to be an opportunity to give your all because every time in the summer, everybody's giving their all. And I remember this specific night is on TNT, and I remember Derek was out. I remember Jimmy Butler was out. I remember we had a lot of guys banged up and hurt, and this was a really big game. And I remember this young man not knowing how many minutes he was going to play or whatever, and he went in that game, and he had one of the games of his life. And he hit a game-winning shot at the buzzer against New Orleans. I forgot who we played, but I remember him in the game-winning shot on TNT. And to this day, we talk about that. And I remember seeing like that glow around him while we lifted him up because this young man worked his tail off. And I'm talking about from that moment on, that kind of thrusted his career. Because right after that summer, he signed with New Orleans. Then after that, he signed with the Orlando Magic. And I'm just giving that story because I really love that guy. We talked about it for like 2 hours, like 3 days ago. And I try to give guys that same encouragement because it's really a blessing. It is really something special when you put that jersey on. And one thing my great coach always told me, it is so much talent in this league. You can get your butt kicked any given night. So you just have to always respect everybody. But that's one of the main things I remember. That's one of the tough stories I remember because I remember him that whole year. The coaching staff was like, sit on the sideline. Get out of there with the starters. You know how you be. And you'd be like, man, I just want to get some reps. And I remember our whole team was banged up, and he performed like no other. And that's just God. That's just, you know what I'm saying, put the work in. Always good things going to come out of it.
It's a beautiful story. Taj Gibson, our guest today here on the Hornets Hivecast. Just a couple more for you. Looking towards the future. We talked about how the game has changed. You now have Tijan Salon here as a rookie. A lot of the physical similarities to you, but more of a three-point shooter coming into the league. Do you look at Tijan and see, like, that's me today?
In the hindsight, yeah, because Tijan is so, like, every game you see him, he's going to do something unique every game, and he's showing you more and more of his heart. Like, every time when he's getting ready to dunk on somebody, if you make a shot, he's just letting you know, I'm here, I'm tough, I don't care if I'm a rookie, and that's the way I carry it with him. I tell him, you're a rookie, but so what? We here behind you, we're pushing you, and the team is getting behind him, and we're just having fun.
That story you told about being ready for your opportunity, that's been the definition of the center group all season long. 7-footers have been out. A lot of guys have been out. Yeah. Now they're starting to come back. You've seen these guys in practice. What is this group capable of doing on a nightly basis once you're all healthy and all playing full strength?
Playing winning basketball, playing Hornets Hive basketball. It's really tough because you got injuries do happen, but when you see guys really trying to get back, really fighting to get back to the team, really working on it, working hard on off days. This is one of the toughest working groups I've been around. I've been around some really hard workers, even from down to the coaching staff, the assistant coaches. Everybody's putting in work. Everybody's there for each other, and it's a great atmosphere. To be honest with you, it's a really good atmosphere. We understand there's some tough losses. But within every loss is always it's always something to learn. And after every loss, I can see in the locker room guys are coming in even harder the next day. And that's why you see our defense is almost a top 5, top 10 defense now. So it's just guys putting in the work.
Last one for you. You know what a playoff team looks like. Mm-hmm. You've been on 9 different playoff teams. Mm-hmm. Injuries have been the defining factor for the mm-hmm. Hornets early, but as they get healthier, mm-hmm. do you see a team that is like those that you've been on that have mm-hmm. been to the playoffs, or even the one that you were on that went to an Eastern Conference final before?
Yeah, because each one of those teams, I was with a strong-minded, tough-minded coach. And when I look at our coach and I talk to Charles, and I see his attributes and I see how he carries himself, he's awesome. Like each day I tell him, like, just keep leading us. People understand he's just really a player's coach. And he's doing a fantastic job as far as managing the attitudes, setting boundaries, setting goals. And it's just something fun to be a part of, to be honest.
Taj Gibson, thanks so much for joining us today here on the Hornets Hivecast.
All right, thanks, brother.
That does it for this edition of the Hornets Hivecast. Remember, the HHC is available daily wherever you get your podcasts all throughout the NBA season, with game previews every game day, reviews every day after, and in-depth interviews everywhere in between. I'm Sam Farber. It's been a pleasure and a privilege having you along, and we'll talk to you next time right here on the Hornets Hivecast.
Thank you for listening to the Hornets Hivecast, brought to you by Senta, the official eye, ear, nose, and throat care provider of the Charlotte Hornets. For more coverage, visit Hornets.com.